Welcome guys, another episode of Bed Wars. Every once in a while, I'll hear someone say that mobile gamers have it better than PC gamers, as in, mobile gamers have the advantage in PvP, which I'm sure all of my viewers will know that's ridiculous. Why would a mobile player have an advantage? And I think part of it comes from we can hit from the side of our head, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Now here's the thing, I'm going to go through what is an advantage, what's a disadvantage, kind of, and what that all means and why that happens. First off, it is not an advantage to hit from the side of your head, because, well, starting from the first reason, it ruins your aim. I don't mean the idea of, you're going to have this terrible aim now, you're never going to hit your opponent. I mean the fact that now you're misjudging where your target is. Now here's why this happens. You see, the center of the screen, you can see those purple wool blocks. They're pretty small, but if I turn my screen, they just got way bigger. That is way bigger than they previously were. Compared to that, let's go after light blue? Yeah, light blue. He seems rather competent. So that creates magnification. So when you're judging where a player is, you're partially going off of the scale of their model to judge when you should be hitting if they're too far from you. Yeah. My aim is crap. No. My aim is so bad right now. Nope. That's what you get for having a gap. I know that your bed is right here, though. Oh my god! Nope. Where's the guy? Make a wall. Nope. Denied. Get back here, son. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to have everyone on the side of my screen constantly. I want to try and keep them toward the center. That leads us to our next problem. That you can't have people always centered on your screen on mobile. Why? Well, it requires you to turn your screen. And when you're turning your screen, you end up with your next disadvantage. And this is something you might notice a lot, is mobile players won't turn their screen that much. Isn't that weird? Well, it's because you cannot hit or do anything, basically. You can sometimes change your hotbar, but it's a little bit buggy. Goodbye. I don't know how I hit him again. Bop. My aim was kind of crappy. And he died. Cool. On to the next round. But yeah, it is physically impossible to hit someone and turn your screen at the same time, among a few other actions. You can technically break blocks while turning your screen, because, look at me, I'm turning my screen while breaking this block. But you can't turn your screen and then start breaking a block. It's not possible. You can't turn your screen and press a button at the same time. There's going to be at least a brief gap between those two things. You are now living with delayed inputs, kind of, but they're self-delayed. They're relative to the speed you can perform inputs between two different actions, turning your screen and tapping, which is not good. Which also means that whenever you try to mine, there's a brief time where you're doing nothing at all. Like, I am mining and it takes a little bit. Just a short little bit, but that matters. That is another disadvantage you got right there. So, but with the whole turning screen, this is a pretty big disadvantage for mobile players, because if anyone does something called a wide swing, which is basically someone doing a 90-degree plus strafe, goodbye. Which is why I'll actually try to break a bed or something like that before I even get to the bed. That way I don't have to really deal with much of a delay. Uh-huh. Oh, hi there! I'm glad you decided to drop in! Puns. Yeah, wide swings are really powerful against mobile players. They're just in generally pretty good to do. I don't usually do them because I suck. But they're really good against mobile players because it requires that they turn their screen. And during that time, okay, so he left. If during that time the player up against moves again, it can be really difficult to fight them, because now you're having to readjust where you're looking again. This can get them a good chain of combos on you, even if you have a good deal of skill. Oh no. Whatever will I do? Oh! He actually jumped down pretty swiftly. I actually was kind of making a mistake there. As you saw, I failed to turn my screen briefly. That was a consequence of being bad at the video game. Bap, 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 bap. Goodbye! Ha ha ha. Anyways, so there's some disadvantages there. And of course, everything you do in phone has a delay for if you're like mining a block or something, which is why those new controls. Okay, next round. And this game started immediately, which is why the new controls are so good for a lot of players. I don't like the new controls. I'm lame, I know. I prefer the old controls. I have one adjustment. That's pretty much all I have added, is I have this pick block thing, which I love because it makes building a lot easier. I forgot what I was talking about. Probably delays, which means that like if you're shooting a bow, you have to wait a brief moment before you can even fire an arrow, before you can start firing an arrow, that is. Yay! I don't like that. Same thing for potions, by the way, so it makes pop PvP a little bit harder. Like I said, I've gotten used to some of these things. Like I said, I start breaking the bed by pretty much trying to break a block before it, which helps. You don't have to wait to start breaking the bed. You can just start immediately. It requires forethought, but whatever. That does also change how you have to react to things. Yay! And jump over here. So pretty much anything that's an advantage for a mobile player very quickly becomes a disadvantage. Oh, what? Okay. Are you gonna try and fight me? I expected him fully to try and fight me afterwards. Also, some people think that most of the tryhards are on mobile. That is nonsense. I don't know how anyone could think that most tryhards are on mobile. Like, what? Alright, he's gone. That is complete nonsense. How could anyone think that most tryhards are on mobile? I mean, I'm a tryhard, but like, come on, man. That is complete blasphemy. What? What? Most tryhards are on mobile. Lies. Trying to think of other weaknesses of mobile players. You can't do anything. Haha. That was probably a bad idea. Yeah, it was. I took a lot of damage. And charge into me. Go ahead, do it. Do it. I probably shouldn't be breaking this block like this. I can try. There's not really much more to talk about. I think I covered all the subjects. I don't know. If I missed something, then I don't care. I was going over to my own bed. I don't think I should invade that one. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I said don't mind me. Don't mind me. I want a pickaxe. Haha. And I have one block of wool. All I need. Go away. I say go away, so you go away. Alright? Alright. And he's gone. Cool. Pretty sure I wanted to grab a pickaxe here. Yay! You have no bed. And you can't get out that way, you can only get out that way, so if I just stand right here, and then charge in, you can't do nothing. And that's game. 10 kills. Fantastic. Along with a decent 33 win streak. Not bad. We win these. And that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you didn't, then leave a like anyways. That'll show them. That'll show me. Leave a like. I will be incredibly depressed if you leave a like.